Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Freedom Energy Channel. I am April Miranda,
And I am Julia Bragnalo.
and today we're going to chat about how money can be a form of self-care. But before we get into that, let's start with a meditation. So wherever you are, let's uncross your legs, uncross your arms, roll the shoulders up, back, and down. And see where you feel guided to put your hands, whether it's on your heart or on your legs, your solar plexus or womb. And let's deepen the breath in and lengthen the breath out. Deepen the breath in and lengthen the breath out. Just witness the thoughts that come across your mind. Just see them as clouds passing through the sky. Just witnessing as a kind observer with zero judgment, and just witness as you breathe in and as you breathe out. And let's visualize the roots rooting from our sit bones and from our feet, going all the way down through all the layers of the building and all the layers of the planet and anchored into the center of Mother Earth. Feeling rooted, grounded, and safe. And any heaviness in your heart or anything taking up real estate in your mind, just notice as you breathe in. And give yourself permission to release as you breathe out. The mind is wandering with what ifs or reflecting on what happened in the past. Just notice as you breathe in to release and be here now. There is no danger and you are safe. In this moment right here, you are safe. Just feel that frequency of safety as you breathe in and as you breathe out. And allow yourself to stay tuned into this vibration as we continue with our conversation in this podcast episode. As we talk about self-care rituals, financially and energetically. So with that, let's start with Julia sharing her best practices when she shows up for her finances, and how is it a self-care ritual for you?
Thank you. Okay, so today I wanted to talk about an emergency fund and how important it is to have such a fund for those emergencies. So it's like a insurance policy almost for yourself. And this little fund should have about 3 to 6 months worth of expenses. So now that you've been budgeting, you've been tracking all of your money coming in, all of your money coming out, you know what your bare minimum is to live. And that's not including like gym memberships or anything like that. It's just your home, your food, your transportation, and things like that. So 3 to 6 months of that saved up in an emergency fund, which is a savings account. So you can choose how you want, what kind of account you would want that for. But you need to have that for those things that are unexpected, like if you have lost your job or you have been hurt and now you can't work. but you still have to make your bills. So it wouldn't disrupt your life if something happened like that. You would still be able to live. And so April and I have talked about this before. And so you're budgeting, and now you're like, oh my goodness, now you need 3 to 6 months worth of expenses. And that's not going to be a small amount of money. So how do you do this? And so I had suggested that now that you're so good at budgeting, now you're aware of where every dollar goes and you're cautious of your spending. Um, Save up like just $1,000 in this fund and make that a goal. And it won't take you a long time to save up $1,000. If that's your goal and you're driven, every extra dollar that you have, you're going to be putting in there. And then once you reach that goal, you're going to be so satisfied and proud of yourself that you've done this and you have this $1,000, and just have that there, and then go back to your budgeting and paying off your debt. Because all those monthly minimum payments that you're making, once those payments are gone, you have all this extra money now. So when you're getting paid, it's not a funds transfer day anymore. Now you actually have money. You're just transferring it into your savings.
Wow, I love this. And do you, like I've heard people call it like a little money date, like do you do something on the daily, weekly to like, like how people could show up for a massage as a form of self-care or a yoga class as a form of self-care? Do you show up for yourself like on a daily or a weekly basis? Like like how do
With
you
my
incorporate,
finances,
yeah, your best practices? Yes.
so yeah, I usually do it up like, so I right now have a few different forms of income. My main source, I receive every couple of weeks. And so that is my like survival money. So that's what pays my home, my car, my phone bill, my groceries. And so all of that lump sum that's coming in, it's got categories that it goes into. And then I also have my savings that are automated that go out on that day. So anything extra goes into other funds. So I have my emergency fund, I have my vacation fund. Right now, we're saving up for new patio furniture. We have our patio furniture fund, our vet, if a car fund. And so everything has a job. So every other source of income has a job.
Mm-hmm.
So when I'm ready to make that purchase for my patio furniture, I have my piggy bank already there. Like it's been paid for before it's even bought, right? And it's not an expense that's over your head. And that's a big form of self-care, because who do you know that is not stressed about money, right? Like that is, I feel like, the number one stress everybody has, like whether you are making a lot of money or whether you're making just a little bit of money, I would say everybody's concerned about their money, right? And how you spend it, being aware of how you spend it, and then having that emergency fund for if something goes wrong. If you don't have to touch that in 5 years, hooray, like that is amazing. But don't touch it. Like that is there as your buffer, as your safety net. And yeah, and then it just feels good because you're not like, oh my God, what if my car breaks down? Or like we live in Canada, and so we have summer tires and then we have winter tires, and like that's a necessity, like where we live. Like it's dangerous to drive in the winter with our summer tires. You need more traction and they're not cheap. But if you have a fund that you've been putting $50 paycheck in for a year, for 2 years, now when those tires go on sale, you're like, hey, I can just walk in there feeling really good and I feel rich because I already have this money. I'm not putting it on credit.
Oh,
So
yeah.
it really it calms you, right?
Mm-hmm. And like that's why I felt guided to like, yeah, set the meditation of feeling safe, right? Like our nervous system just needs to feel safe and having this, I'm gonna say this nourishing bank account that is just in case, for emergency, for a rainy day, whatever you want to call it, that it's there for you as a safety net. And then if that softens your nervous system, of course that can be a form of self-care. And so I guess,
Mhm.
yeah, what's coming through is that like let these moments as you look at your finances, a little date with you. Like maybe get a nice nourishing or warming cup of coffee or a nice smoothie or kombucha, whatever your vibe is. Maybe play some cool music, like get yourself in the self-care vibe as you look at your finances. Like let it be a date with you and your money. And now I'm even thinking even deeper, like this is a relationship.
Yeah.
Let's start dating money. Let's let money
And
feel
like
safe to come with to
once
you.
once you start these savings accounts and you start paying yourself and you see this money growing, like I'm saying you're only putting in $50 a paycheck. Like you're like, oh, well, what's $50? But then you look at that in 4 months and you have X amount of dollars and now you're feeling good and you're like, yes, I'm paying myself and I'm seeing this money and it's flourishing rather than I'm making that payment and I don't see that money, right? Like it's a bill. Like make yourself a bill. Like you are paying yourself. This is your hard-earned money. This is your time. Like when you look around your room, and I feel like this is how like minimalism started. Like that costs money, this chair costs money, this lap costs money. Like these are all dollar signs that you've worked for, that you've like
Mm.
your sweat, your tears, your sacrifices. Um, so I feel like you need to have that better relationship with what's coming in, what's coming out, what's staying.
Mm-hmm. And that is I guess why we wanted to create this channel because it starts with the feeling safe before we get to that freedom frequency, for the freedom energy channel. We want you to create a safe container so you can even receive more, right? So I guess this is episode 3. You can watch the other 2 episodes, but we're like slowly building up. Right. And so
Mhm.
this episode 3, where we talked about yeah, the value of the emergency fund, how to do it. And I really love how you say like every dollar has a job. Like I remember you saying that once and that has landed with me. So thank you for that. And another reason why we created this channel was because of Healy has been a bridge that brought us together, but Healy can also be a bridge to soften your nervous system when we talk about safety, but Healy can also be a bridge to be another way to make money, another way to make income, to build that emergency fund, and eventually to build that freedom lifestyle. Right? And then, so on that note, we also wanted to share different features and functions of this unicorn tool. Okay, so do you want to share what you're playing right now? And then I'll share what I'm playing, and then we'll do an aura scan.
Sure. So right now I am playing connective tissue on my Healy and I am trying to biohack some cellulite. So I had researched this on the Heal Advisor app, which is a function. When you get your Healy, you download the 3 apps. And so I just went into the search bar and I was like, what's in there for cellulite? And there was programs that came down, and I just chose one that resonated the most with me and what I was looking for. So that's something I am experimenting with right now.
Beautiful. And are you going to do a little protocol, like do it once a day for the next 2 weeks, or?
I am, yeah. So that is my goal to myself, my promise that I did my before pictures. So I'm doing my 2 weeks and then I'm gonna do my after pictures. But I do want to mention like Healy is a tool. So I'm still doing all the other things. I'm still like doing scrubs, lotions, but then this is something I'm doing. Oh, I froze. Can you see me?
Yeah, I see you frozen too, but I could still
Oh,
hear you.
okay.
There you are.
Here I am. So this is helping things evolve faster. It's like recharging yourselves. So
Mm.
that is what Healy does. So it should speed up this process for me.
But also,
What are you running?
we didn't even share that receiving microcurrent, it increases ATP production. So that is going on a cellular level of that's going deep into the science that we'll probably get into another episode.
Yeah. Yes.
But so what Julia did, she typed in cellulite in the Healy Advisor app, and it's like typing into Google, like, what do I need? So that's another little tool that another way of using it that you're like, okay, what do you advise that I use with this ailment, with this discomfort, with this dis-ease, right? And so it has this quantum scanner, and this is what it shares for her, this recommendation. So that's one way. I am currently running the crown chakra because I wanted to open up that channel as we're recording this podcast, this YouTube video, to like just tune into what our listeners, our viewers may need. So that's what I chose. But we're going to actually show an aura scan. So we're going to stop that. We're going to go into the blue app, which is the Heal Advisor Analyst app, so it's the blue one. And you're just going to see the different options. Okay. And we're going to show you. Is it backwards?
Actually, no, it's not.
Really? Okay, cool.
Yeah,
So you could see we're
not the mirror.
yeah, because I'm like, I see it as a mirror, but we're gonna see the aura option. So I'm gonna click that. And we're gonna do new analysis. And then we're gonna continue. So now it's searching for device. So I gotta make sure I close the other app because it doesn't connect to two at the same time. And all my other apps that I had. And for the blue app, you actually don't need the wristbands. So I'm going to take these off because it will use scalar waves versus microcurrent. Okay, so we could actually just use this. And when I put myself as a client, we put my name, my birth date, my birth location, and then we also record my vibration. And it's just to hold it in my right hand. It reads me and it records my energetic blueprint. So now we're just searching for the device. That's my little serial number, and then we push connect. So honestly, it's so cool that it's cordless, it's Bluetooth, it's personal, it's wearable, because these frequency devices have been around for decades, but they were massive. They cost tens of thousands of dollars. And here we have it in the palm of my hand and connected to my Bluetooth. Okay, so you'll see there it
There
is.
you are.
But my total energy is 71. It's so humbling. And the chakras that need the most are my crown chakra. It's at 69. Third eye and throat. So my top chakras are the ones that need a bit more love. I wish I could show this there. There we go. Crown, third eye, and throat. So my heart chakra is 95, solar plexus 84, sacral 88, and root chakra 85. So those ones are a bit higher, if you could see on the YouTube video.
Yeah, I can see.
There we go. And then we're going to push continue. And then we're going to see, what does my crown chakra need? What does my third eye need? What does my throat chakra need to get back into harmony? And then it has this whole PDF, this whole report. And I see the first one. I'm like, oh,
So big, this report too. I have to add, like, it is like pages of
pages. Yeah.
affirmations and recommendations and all this stuff, like in the
Cool.
seconds.
Yeah. And I love it because it's non-biased. Like as a Reiki master, Reiki practitioner, I have my third eye, I get to channel and see and feel, but I still have my own biases. You know what I mean? Like I still have my own perceptions as a human, but this is non-biased. It's working with the information field. It works with my information field and the information field to share this information that is subconscious. And I'm like smiling because I'm like, oh, that stuff. It's still I'm going to share with you what Healy has shared with us today live on this aura scan call. Okay, my present state. The person has experienced, in quotes, the carrot and stick leading to the perception of their father. So, that they're just chasing that invisible carrot on this stick. And that is me wanting to be always achieving, wanting to be the best, because that is how I felt loved by my father. Okay. I just got to.
It was right on. Like
That's
the
the
first
first
line, it
one.
was like, yeah. And you
Oh,
didn't program anything in
I didn't
there.
program. I did it live right here with you. And I just got to share a quick story because I'm like, oh, while it brings this unseen scene, yeah, I remember a time when I came home with a test. I'm like, Dad, I got 98%. It's the highest in the class. And he said, oh, what happened to the other 2%? So
Could
that
be my
mem-
family too.
so that memory, I'm like, oh, not enough, not worthy, not loved. All of those quote unquote daddy issues that have been woven into my subconscious that could be a block for me to my highest timeline, greatest happiness, greatest health. So that's the first one. Okay.
Mhm.
And then it also says the desired state. I wonder if you could see that. Yeah. So present
Not
state.
very well. Like it's small,
Okay.
right?
Well, the present state, it's a carrot stick thing, but the desired state. It's an affirmation that it recommends to get into the desired state. I have a loving perception of my father and I am loved unconditionally.
Yeah.
I have a loving perception of my father and I am loved unconditionally. And I've been working with this Healy app, but I've also been doing a lot of self inner work, outer work. So I know that is a big block. But it's just humbling doing this on a call, on a podcast recording, on this
Yeah.
YouTube recording.
I want to add too, like we're doing this and we're in this Healy business and another business partner had mentioned that this is like a franchise, but we're real people. Like you got your scan and it was the carrot chasing the stick. And I'm like, I had that in my life too. And then it gives you a personalized affirmation for that, for you to take away. Like we're real people, we're doing this.
Yep. And what is the next one? The person has an intellectual idea of their expression, but their individually cannot be lived in this way. Okay. So that's my throat chakra. So that's my expression. In the desired state, I live out my individuality and I am authentic. I live out my individuality and I am authentic. So these recommended affirmations is how I can shift the paradigm, shift the program.
The blocks.
Okay? The blocks. Yeah, thank you. Okay, so there are other more that are very like I just laugh. I'm like, oh, due to a lack of mental awareness, the person is identifying with physical needs. Like that one, I'm like, what does that even mean? Due to a lack of mental awareness, the person is with my physical needs. So with my physical body, my root chakra stuff, my physical health. So the desired state, I am aware of my spiritual, mental, psychic, and physical aspects and the resulting needs. So Healy goes deep. It doesn't sugarcoat anything. Okay. And so the person immediately rejects compliments. That is showing up there. So, yes, I'm practicing being a good receiver, even if it is compliments. Oh, desired state. I am glad to receive compliments and accept them with gratitude. Okay. So, that unworthiness from daddy. He was a great father, but just those little moments that this little girl remembers has been on autopilot. So just seeing what are my blocks and Healy can bring it forward. Okay. So yes, it has the affirmations. But I also want to show you that we can vibrate this energy. See that blue button? And you can choose how long you want it. So even just for this moment, I'll just put 2 minutes. And now you can see that through this Healy, it's sending these scalar waves of these vibrations for my crown, for my third eye, for my throat chakra to get back into harmony, to get back into resonance, to get back into alignment, whatever word you want to say. It will help me get back to my truest state. Okay, so that's what's so cool. It doesn't just scan and give you a report, it can actually support you to move towards. Okay.
And
And
all of this is working in the background. Like we're recording a podcast and you're receiving these frequencies right now. So that is, I think, the biggest take home. You're not going to an appointment somewhere where it's taking up your travel time. You're sitting in the office with that big machine for I got 40 minutes, 50 minutes, right? So you're able to do this from home. You don't have to leave or do anything. Like you could be watching TV receiving
yeah,
this, right?
do it in the comfort of your own home. And so going back to the title of this recording, this episode is like self-care rituals. So Julia shared her self-care, her best practices with money and her finances and her financial health and wellness. But this aura scan is something that I've been doing daily. So it is like showing up for a meditation. It is like showing up for a yoga class in a different way. It's like having that quiet time to see the scan, the quiet time to see, like, oh, that's what's in my subconscious. And having the quiet time to, like, oh, there's an affirmation that I can tune into. Maybe let it be a mantra for the day to work towards. And then I push vibrate, and then I give myself permission to receive. And I've been also habit stacking with journal writing. Like while I'm receiving this aura scan vibration, I'm
Oh,
writing,
that's big.
what am I
Letting it go.
grateful for? What am I releasing? What words am I intending to embody? So this is the energetics of the self-care that I wanted to share for today's episode.
And I just wanted to add on because you had asked me earlier about how do I go through my ritual of my finances. And it, when I first started doing my budgeting and all that stuff, it wasn't a good feeling, but I knew I didn't want to have that feeling all the time. So
Mm.
now that I'm seeing the different savings accounts going up, it's a great feeling. Like I'm empowered by it. Like I have this money for if something goes wrong. And you're taking care of yourself. Who else is going to do that? Right? Like it's totally a self-care practice.
Yeah, and it's like developing a muscle, right? The bicep's not going to
Mhm.
grow if you just do it once. It's like let's show it up. Just keep showing up, right? Showing
Yeah.
up for those money dates, showing up for these self-care and financial rituals. So I guess
Mhm.
that is what we wanted to cover in today's episode, but let's come back to why we started even creating this Freedom Energy channel. We wanted to share our best practices as we move from like this survival mode to freedom. And so Healy is a bridge, whether it is to soften your nervous system, whether it is to do an aura scan as a self practice, or whether it is another way of making money. There's a business opportunity that Julie and I are so excited about,
Mm.
and the sense of community that we're in business for ourselves, but we're not doing it by ourselves.
No, and you have that community, that guidance, the mentorship, or even if you just have a question that you're you're like, I want to do this. Do you think this is a good idea? How would you receive this? Right? Just when you're self-doubting yourself, right? And then you get that confidence and you're like, no, you go, girl, or try and do it this way. Like it's just amazing. I am so grateful that this has landed in my lap.
Yeah, that's like everything that I prayed for. And on that note, I wanted to share that there's this 8-week course that we're doing as a community called The New Frequency. So the new frequency, so it's like a new frequency equals a new identity. So if this is a container that you feel guided to join, like I know there's so many coaches out there that have these 8-week offerings, But when you purchase a Healy, you get access to this course. When you purchase a Healy, you get access to this community. You get access to mentorship from women, men, spiritual healers that are making 6, 7 figures like nothing in a soft, nourished way.
So you are actually saving yourself money.
And you can actually make money. Like when you
You're
find, like,
saving.
do you want to do this 8-week course with me? It's like, okay, all you do is purchase a Healy. So you're actually, it's a win-win-win. Your nervous system's happy. You have this business opportunity. You get to learn and grow together. And you can actually make money taking the course versus investing into a course. Do you feel me?
Yeah. Yeah. It's a one-time investment with an abundance of opportunities, and you just tell the world you are ready to receive.
Yeah, and I know Julie and I are looking for those who see the vision, who have the same values of freedom, of sovereignty, of financial and physical, mental,
Stress-free life.
emotional. Yes, yes. So if you feel into this and you're like, yes, 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 reach out to Julia, reach out to myself. We're very accessible on Instagram. But I hope you too can turn this feeling of stress into safety and then into freedom with us. So, anything you want to add, Julia?
No, I think we had a great episode today. We really
Oh,
dove
yeah, this was
dove
fun.
into just deeper conversation about how the product works, how to take care of yourself on a deeper level. And like if we're doing it, you can do it. Don't doubt yourself. So if you're ready to take the leap, we are here for you.
Yes, always in your corner. So, I guess until next time, until our next episode, keep the energy high and the worries low.
Stay focused and freedom will flow.
Peace. See you soon.
Cheers.